Laverne and Shirley won't be seen tonight, so we can bring you a very special episode of The Gen X Files. Welcome to The Gen X Files. I'm Jim.
I'm Adam.
And today's show is all about Independence Day. Oh, baby.
Oh, the big old action stupid movie.
Oh, my God, man. I remember... This is back in like the blockbuster heyday of just stupid fun movies that would come out. I mean, thank you, Roland Emmerich.
Dean Devlin, and eventually Michael Bay.
Oh man, and we were all in our 20s, and every time a big movie would come out at that time, we would go to it was known as the Man's Chinese Theater.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because that was our favorite theater, in LA. And I remember seeing Independence Day. They were running. It was one of the first movies too to run like a 24-hour.
Oh yeah, like just screenings 24 hours.
At least for the opening night.
Yeah.
So I think we saw it like 2:00 in the morning or something.
Oh wow.
And it was still packed, and everybody had a fun. I mean, it's just goofy, dumb fun that has to be seen. That's more fun to be seen either in a theater with a bunch of people or with your friends. I mean, it's not.
That's all the movies this month are much better seen with a large crowd.
It's our third annual June Doom.
June Doom the third.
Revenge of the Doom.
Revenge of the Doom.
So yeah, I mean these are all big, bombastic. Bruckheimer, and Roland Emmerich, just big old...
Oh, but huge popcorn movies.
Exactly.
All popcorn movies.
And it was fun, and everybody went to go see the White House be blown up, and...
Oh, yeah. That was a huge thing. The second that was in the trailer, people were like, I'm going to see that.
The marketing for this movie was brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
Brilliant. And it sucked everybody in because it took a goofy B movie. Let's be honest.
Oh no, totally B movie.
This is on par with all of the crappy disaster movies from the 70s.
Yeah, well, and it's like a 50s sci-fi movie. It's like aliens are coming down.
50s sci-fi propaganda movie.
Yeah, it just goes further than all those movies did because they had the budget to be able to do it.
But it's still fun. It's been a while since I've seen it, and I still had a really good time watching it.
Yeah, it's definitely not a perfect movie.
But it's perfectly fine.
We tore it apart while we were watching it, but we did it because we love the movie so much.
And it's easy to tear apart. But because
it's really not very good.
Well, it's also ridiculous. And,
yeah.
It doesn't shy away from being ridiculous. It's not embarrassed to have so many plot holes and just unexplainable acts of physics.
So many. I mean, granted, you can always fall back on it's aliens.
Well, aliens can't change the trajectory of an explosion to miss a tiny little room.
No, that's true.
In a tunnel.
They also can't use Mac OSs to interface with Apple computers.
Thank God these aren't Windows.
And what was the computer he was using? It was so weird.
Hey man, it was all high tech, baby.
It was like that weird mid-90s like chunky technology where it was like, this is my laptop. It's huge and bulky.
Not only that is they took a chunky old cell phone and taped it to the back of it, and that was like, internet.
Or as they called it, a portable phone.
Mm-hmm. And
it's hard to
David. He really he knew his stuff. But luckily the aliens were creatives, so they used Apple.
They did. They were.
They're more of a entertainment-based society than a work-based society.
I think it's proof positive that Steve Jobs was an alien.
Yeah, well, he colluded apparently, or maybe he knew that they were going to invade, so he kind of was like, he was like, pretend he was like a double agent.
It's like a Trojan horse, just in there, and like, here comes the 3,000-mile long ship.
And then they took him away.
Yeah, he didn't actually die. He just
went up to Independence Day, planet land.
All right. Oh, sorry.
I also like how there is absolutely nothing about the aliens. We learn nothing really.
Oh no, they're just well, that's the beauty of propaganda. They're just the enemy force. That's all that matters.
We get like 3 seconds when Brent Spiner where the old Spiny is
Lieutenant Data.
Get him out of there.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, what do you want from us?
kill you. We want to kill you. You must die.
Yeah. Well, dummy. You should have said something else and we wouldn't have shot you full of holes.
We wouldn't have killed you. Yeah.
Also, like, there's, like, no worry of any sort of infection or anything. Like, is this glass bulletproof?
Oh, yeah. No, sir, it's not.
Well, then let's destroy the lab.
Let's everyone shoot as many times as possible.
Oh, my God. All right, let's get into it.
All right, take yourself back. 1996.
Nice.
March 15th, Fokker, a major manufacturer of small-size aircraft, goes bankrupt in the Netherlands.
I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me? Oh, different Fokker.
Wrong Fokker. Fokkers, I think, were actually used by the Germans during World War I.
Oh.
They were Fokker airplanes used by Germans. Anyway, May 10th, 1996, the Everest disaster. A sudden storm engulfs Mount Everest with several climbing teams high on the mountain, leaving 8 people dead. By the end of the month, at least 4 other climbers die in the worst season of fatalities on the mountain to date.
Which I believe they made a movie about called Everest.
Oh, yeah, I think they did, actually.
I think that's what it was about.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It might have just been about the mountain. Just the mountain sitting there.
Or people climbing it.
Well, yeah, probably.
People do that.
A lot of people do that.
I don't get it.
It's the worst thing ever is to go, I'm going to go climb Mount Everest, and you have to get in line.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
is
like,
it
what's
really
the
that
point?
much of a feat anymore?
No, it is not.
You got your Sherpas carrying you up there?
Yeah, you're not doing the work. Anyway.
Walking past frozen bodies?
Yeah. June 4th, the space rocket Ariane 5 explodes 40 seconds in its maiden flight after takeoff in French Guiana. The project costs European governments $7.5 billion over 11 years.
Yeah. Thank you, aliens, for blowing it up.
July 3rd, Independence Day is released in theaters.
Thank you. Very smart that they released it during Independence Day.
Yeah. I mean, would have been the hugest misstep if they hadn't.
Come on. I mean, they did a bunch of, like, Christmas movies during the summer.
No, I know. But I wouldn't be surprised if an executive came up and said,
You sure you want to do it in the summer?
I think so play better in Christmas time.
Hey, guys. This is Bob.
You
Bob,
suggested that, didn't you?
Of course. Yeah, look. Joy is poison to me. And I know people like big movies and whatever, but I like to make it as unpleasant as possible.
Yeah. Well, you do. Actually, just by being here, you do.
Oh, good. Well, mission accomplished.
Thanks.
Have you seen my kids?
No. No. I think there's a guy talking to our neighbor. He's selling crack right now, so I...
Oh, sounds like...
I mean, your
sounds
kid's...
like Jubal.
Your kid's selling the crack.
Yeah, I know. Duh.
Wow, your kid's name is Jubal?
Yeah.
Makes me like you even less, Bob.
Yep. I win.
All right, bye.
Bob came in so early.
Yeah, he did. Too early for Bob. So Independence Day was conceived and written by Roland Emmerich and Dean Devlin. Roland Emmerich grew up in West Germany and decided to become a film director after seeing Star Wars.
Yeah, you think?
So we can thank George Lucas for Roland Emmerich.
Well, he's been trying to be George Lucas. It never quite makes it. I mean, look, he's very successful.
Look, the movie's fine. I mean, God knows most of his movies are not, but I always find him entertaining.
What are some of his other movies?
Like The Day After Tomorrow, or Day
with
After
Jake Gyllenhaal?
Tomorrow,
Is that the one?
with the big freeze. It was the worst, greatest movie ever.
Oh yeah. Oh, let's outrun a blizzard. Let's outrun a freeze. Because you know how freezing works, Adam.
Yeah.
It slowly moves like lava, and you can outrun it.
You can watch it and watch the terminus of the ice coming towards you.
Yeah, man. I mean, he's a very science-based filmmaker.
He is. Oh, he did Godzilla in 1998.
Ugh.
The greatest Godzilla movie ever.
Hey, there's eggs in here. I'm Ferris Bueller. Let's get them.
Another great disaster movie, 2012. That was Nicolas Cage, I think.
Was it? No, I think it was.
It was John. John Cusack.
It was John Cusack and Woody Harrelson, and again, the whole world is falling apart.
Yeah.
Giant sinkhole, everything.
Yeah.
And the cab. Was it the cab or the plane?
Plane flying away.
Oh,
And so it
man.
manages to fly away just as the runway crumbles.
He loves his flying away in danger shots. Because in Independence Day, there's the Air Force One flying away from the explosion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, baby. You got to have a ridiculous...
He also did perhaps one of the worst movies I've ever seen, Moonfall.
I never
Did
saw
you ever
that.
watch Moonfall?
No.
Oh, my God. You have to watch. If you liked Madam Web and how bad it was, you need to watch Moonfall.
Yeah.
Get a drink, smoke some weed.
I'm going to need a lot of drinks.
Yeah, it was. Anyway, so I will say that, and we'll get to this, but his better movies were definitely made before Independence Day.
He's a popcorn filmmaker, and that's great, man. We need them. We need independent guys. And, the problem is with these types of movies is they suck up all the money, and they suck up all the theaters, and they suck up.
Yeah.
And there's no room for independents or smaller films.
Well, this was the blueprint for what is the movie theater now.
Yeah.
In Hollywood now, of we got to spend $1 billion on making this movie, and then that's the only thing that's going to be released for 3 months,
Right. And then now, they spend all this money on movies, and then the release window for home viewing is tiny.
Yeah.
It's weeks now instead of months.
I did just see a news report that Inside Out 2 is going to have 100 days in the theater.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So hopefully maybe they're trying to go back to that. I don't know.
Look, personally, I love the fact that movies are coming home because I don't really go to the theater anymore. It's not the same. We talked about it the last show.
It's not the same experience.
But
although I haven't been in a while, so I need to try it one more time.
Sure. I mean, look, I had fun when we went to see Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
But I also, it was a smaller, I didn't really love the theater because it was kind of tiny.
Yeah.
I would have rather seen it on something, bigger.
Right.
But still, it was I need to go.
We got Tuesdays. We got to start going Tuesdays. We'll make it a date.
That would be, nice.
Aww.
That would be, people already think we're together enough. They're going to start calling Phoebe the beard.
Oh.
I would like to see something on IMAX again. I really enjoyed.
Well, I mean, are you willing to mortgage your house to
go
see it?
that's the problem too.
So he was required to create a short film as his final thesis in 1981. He wrote and directed the full-length feature, The Noah's Ark Principle, which was screened as the opening film of the 34th Berlin International Film Festival in 1984.
All right. What's it about?
I don't know. I didn't look it up.
Noah's Ark?
Yeah, no, I think it's the Noah's Ark Principle. I think it was, again, probably about destruction of the world.
2x2.
Yeah. In 1985, he founded Centropolis Film Productions, now Centropolis Entertainment, in partnership with his sister, producer Uta Emmerich, and directed his major film debut, the fantasy feature film named Joey. Joey, also known as Making Contact, is a techno-horror fantasy film that took Emmerich a year and a half to make because Emmerich himself did most of the special effects.
Okay.
In 1987, Emmerich directed Hollywood Monster, a comedy called Ghost Chase, when it finally was released in the U.S. In 1990, he directed Moon 44, a sci-fi film that featured Dean Devlin.
Okay.
Oh, Devlin was born in New York City, the son of actress Pilar Syrah and Don Devlin, a writer, actor, and producer. Devlin appeared as an actor on numerous television shows throughout the 1980s. He also appeared in films including
My Bodyguard, The Wildlife, Real Genius, Martians Go Home.
Devlin eventually started writing scripts. Producer Mario Casar invited Emmerich to come to the United States to direct a futuristic action film entitled Isobar.
Horrible name.
Yeah. Dean Devlin, who appeared in Moon 44, soon joined Emmerich as his writing and producing partner.
Hey, I'm joining you.
Emmerich subsequently refused the offer to direct after producers rejected Devlin's rewrite of the script, and the Isobar project was eventually scrapped.
Look, Roland, the changes that you made make absolutely no sense. They're all very anti-science, and your dialogue is just well, it sounds like it's written in a different language and then translated back into English.
But Dean's script is so good, yeah.
Wow.
He's from West Germany.
That is perfect then. Das ist gut, ja.
Dean's script's so good. We use Dean's script, ja.
Ja, Dean's script is not very good. Das ist gut, ja.
Yeah, I mean, have you heard Roland Emmerich?
Yes,
he sounds just like that.
Yes, he does. Oh, I like to make some movies. I make movies like Independence Day. I blow up the White House.
I destroyed the world good, yeah.
That is very good.
Instead, Emmerich was hired to replace director Andrew Davis for the action movie Universal Soldier.
Nice. Look, I love that movie.
I know. It was his first American big movie. And it's actually, much like Independence Day, very entertaining.
Well, look, Universal Soldier is a very good B to C movie.
It is. Devlin did rewrites on Universal Soldier, getting his first writing credit. The film, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren, was released in 1982 and would earn $95 million at the box office from a $23 million budget.
Not too shabby.
Made some muns.
Yeah.
The success of Universal Soldier spawned a series of films, and I love it when these kind of not good movies spawn, like Highlander.
Or Sniper.
And Sniper, and all these random, or like the White House Down movies where there's like 14 of them now or something. Right. It just blows my mind. So there were 2 direct-to-TV films after Universal Soldier called Universal Soldier 2, Brothers in Arms in 1998, and Universal Soldier 3, Unfinished Business in 1998. Neither of them starred Jean-Claude Van Damme or Dolph Lundgren. But then, in 1999, there was a theatrical sequel called Universal Soldier The Return, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. And an alternative direct-to-video sequel called Universal Soldier Regeneration came in 2019, starring JCVD and Dolph Lundgren. And then a standalone direct-to-video film called Universal Soldier Day of Reckoning in 2012, starring also JCVD and Dolph Lundgren. And the timeline is so messy, I don't know. I think they just reboot it every time.
I don't know. I think I've seen a few
You've
of
probably
them.
seen most of them. I mean, it's just insane. The fact that they just keep pumping these out.
I love B-movies. I love Dolph Lundgren. I love Jean-Claude Van Damme. I love...
Totally. I love... Exactly.
I love old Steven Seagal, not the new, fat Russian propagandist.
I just love the fact that you, as a director and a writer like Dean Devlin, you could make a movie. It's like, oh, it did pretty well. And then someone else is like, well, I'm going to do all this other stuff. And you just keep making money off of it.
Well, it's the foreign sales.
Yeah.
You know, them foreigners love these movies.
They do. They got those action movies. I don't have to listen to any of those. Sometimes the foreigners sound like they're from the South.
Yeah, many of them. Yeah, it's good. You know, Universal Soldier was based on a book by a guy who used to run Germany.
Ron Jeremy?
Run Germany.
Oh, Ron Germany. Okay, sorry.
Adolf Hitler.
I thought you were saying
Ron Germany
it was
originally supposed to be the Universal Soldier.
That would be a very different movie.
His weapon is not a gun.
Okay. Wait,
was his wit.
So Ron Jeremy played Adolf Hitler in Universal Soldier?
Yes.
Okay.
Naturally.
Emmerich and Devlin next released Stargate in 1994, which is a great movie.
Great.
It's a flawed movie.
It's a good movie. It's not, I don't know.
I liked the movie. It was interesting.
It's something
It was interesting to me because of the whole, like, other universes thing.
There was a lot of hype. The thing that really bugged me about it was that it went to, like, Egypt. And it was basically just Egypt.
It was just, Egyptian
it's all this build-up with the Stargate. You got,
went to Egypt.
And also, it's not my favorite. I don't like jerky Kurt Russell.
Okay.
And they kind of sucked his charm out on that one.
I respect that.
And it's my own whatever. I never got into Stargate. I never got into the show. It just was kind of.
I liked the movie. I never got in the show.
But we'll cover it, and it'll, it'll be a pleasant surprise.
At the time, it set a record for the highest grossing opening weekend for a film released in the month of October. It would end up making almost $200 million in worldwide box office. It became more commercially successful than most film industry insiders had anticipated and spawned a highly popular media franchise, including 3 TV shows, 2 direct-to-video movies, a web series, and an animated series.
Yeah, it was very popular.
Another one of those where it's just like, okay, let's just start the media franchise.
Yeah. Well, I guess that was the time.
I mean, whatever, man. That's the dream. Around the time, Emmerich and Devlin got involved with Bethesda Softworks to develop the video game The 10th Planet, which was scheduled to be released in October of 1997, but was canceled.
No.
Yeah. While promoting Stargate in Europe, a reporter asked Emmerich why he made a film with content like Stargate if he did not believe in aliens. Emmerich stated he was still fascinated by the idea of an alien arrival, and further explained his response by asking the reporter to imagine what it would be like to wake up one morning and to discover 15-mile-wide spaceships were hovering over the world's largest cities.
Hey, imagine you're waking. You don't have your coffee, don't have your breakfast, no nothing. You go outside to get the paper and look at the spaceships. What do? You go freaky freaks.
This was so wonderfully depicted by Will Smith in Independence Day, who could not look straight out of his house.
There are fewer things that I despise than the doop-de-doop-de-doop, walking out and looking all around except for the place you're supposed to look, and then the, or like in Jurassic Park where they pull up and he's got to turn Laura Dern's head
Oh, yeah, to look at the thing.
It's just she's like, you're in Jurassic Park, Laura Dern. Well, you're not going to be reading something.
You're literally looking for dinosaurs.
I hate that trope. I hate it.
At least with Will Smith, I understand he came out and he saw the paper and he's looking at the paper. Even then, still. But then Vivica A. Fox comes out and is like, just staring at him like, what? What? Like she has no peripheral vision.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Human beings have peripheral vision. I don't care where you're looking. If there is a 15-mile spaceship right in front of your freaking face.
Especially hovering over.
Yeah.
They have a beautiful house above downtown LA. Like, you would obviously notice the giant dark smudge above the city.
Anyway.
Yeah.
We're going to have to calm down because this show's going to be 8 years long if we have to dive down on every problem.
So after he talked to the reporter, Emmerich then turned to Devlin and said,
I think I have an idea for our next film.
Yeah. Emmerich and Devlin decided to expand on the idea by incorporating a large-scale attack, with Devlin saying he was bothered by the fact that,
for the most part, in alien invasion movies, they come down to Earth and they're hidden in some back field, or they arrive in little spores and inject themselves into the back of someone's head.
Emmerich agreed by asking Devlin if arriving from across the galaxy
would hide you on the farm, or would you make a big entrance?
Well, I feel like they would make a big entrance.
Well, he would.
The two wrote the script during a month-long vacation to Mexico.
Whee!
Just one day after they sent it out for consideration, 20th Century Fox chairman Peter Chernin greenlit the screenplay.
It's a go!
And pre-production began just 3 days later, in February of 1995.
Nice.
God, if only all the movies were that easy.
I know, right?
So they cast Will Smith as Captain Stephen Hiller.
Stephen Hitler.
No.
Oh, Hiller. Sorry.
No, sorry. No, Ron Jeremy, please. Hitler.
Wrong
movie.
I want to have a close to a Hitler, but not quite a Hitler, just a healer. But you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying, right? You know what I'm saying.
The role was originally offered to Ethan Hawke, but he turned it down as he thought the script was terrible.
He wasn't wrong, but oh my God, what a horrible movie that would have been.
Yeah, but for Ethan Hawke to have yeah, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, he was in
some pretty crappy movies.
Yeah, he was in Explorers. Watch our Explorers. Listen to our Explorers episode. and that awful Gen X movie. Oh, I hate so much.
Not Singles?
No, you always. It's
I always
Reality Bites.
Reality Bites.
But yeah, this
directed
is
by Ben Stiller.
This is Ethan Hawke in his most hateable era. This is poetry, Ethan Hawke.
This is when he had. This is around this time when he did Before Sunrise or whatever. So I mean, Devlin and Emmerich had always envisioned an African American for the role, and specifically wanted Smith after seeing his performance in 6 Degrees of Separation.
Really? You know what really bothered me about that?
These guys wrote Independence Day, and you're surprised that they liked 6 Degrees of Separation?
6 Degrees of Separation wasn't a bad movie. I mean, like any movie based on a play, it's always kind of a losing proposition.
Yeah.
But Will Smith, I remember at the time, he's playing a gay character, and he refuses to kiss the other character. Yeah. And it's like, dude, you doth protest too much, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that really bothered me about him. It's like, are you an actor, dude?
Yeah.
You know?
No, he's a movie star.
Well, I can't kiss a guy. Oh, that's crazy. I can't. Oh, no way. Oh, boy. Not in front of people.
What if I like it?
What if I like it again?
Smith was a household name because of his music career with DJ Jazzy Jeff and The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the sitcom, but had only started getting major film roles. They created the sitcom around him because he was supremely broke. Like, he literally went and begged them to create a sitcom, and they did. Yeah.
If it only was that easy.
I know. In 1989, Smith was arrested in retaliation to an alleged assault on his record promoter, William Hendricks. The charges were later dismissed.
What? He beat up his
record promoter because I think the record promoter was hiding money from him.
Oh.
But it would come back to haunt him later. In a very public forum.
Oh, yeah.
Smith set for himself the goal of becoming, quote,
the biggest movie star in the world.
Studying box office successes' common characteristics.
Hey, he did a good job picking his roles. Maybe he should have concentrated more on being a better actor than being the biggest movie star.
Because he's not an actor. He's a movie star.
He is a movie star.
After 6 Degrees of Separation in 93, he appeared in Bad Boys with Martin Lawrence in 95, directed by Michael Bay.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
There's a new one coming out pretty soon.
Is there a new one every couple of years?
Actually, it's Bad Boys Ride or Die. That's coming out, I think in a week.
I'd rather die than see it, honestly. Yeah. The last one was just garb.
I just never got into the Bad Boys movies.
They're fun. Like, the first one's fun. It's Will in his peak. It's
Martin Lawrence.
Martin Lawrence at his peak. You know, poor Martin Lawrence something's going on with him.
Yeah.
He had to. Will Smith had to like help him across the stage, hold his hand.
Oh,
during
really?
some
Wow.
During some
junket
thing
Yeah.
for the new Bad Boys.
Weird.
movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm worried about him, but he's had some health problems.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. He's had it before. Yeah,
situations,
yeah. In the final scene in the desert in Independence Day, it can be seen that Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum are walking to camera, but not exactly walking together.
Yeah.
That's because Smith is 6'1.5". He was make sure to clarify 6'1.5".
Oh, what a piece of shit.
And Goldblum is 6'4.5". So Smith is a step closer than Goldblum to pretend that the two share the same height.
What a
He's a movie star. Movie star,
little
Jim.
turd. I hate that. Although, there's nothing I love more than that Jeff Goldblum strut, baby.
Oh yeah, I know.
Ooh,
He swishes.
Oh man, he looks like a snake with legs.
It's like he's on a runway.
He is just delicious. He is just one of the most. That's the only way I can really describe him.
I'm gonna isolate that.
Please do, because that is a perfect description of him.
We'll have to go see him play. He plays the piano quite often.
I would love to. I adore Jeff Goldblum. I think he's so interesting. I think he has such an amazing attitude towards everything.
Yeah.
I hate to promote other podcasts, but every time he is on Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend,
yeah,
the two of them together, it's like they're about to F. They're
Yeah.
so flirty.
Oh,
and
nice.
so
nice.
like
That's funny.
Hey,
oh, hey.
Look at you. You look good. Ooh.
All right, well, we'll talk about Jeff Goldblum in just a minute.
I just want to get there.
No. The cast Bill Pullman is... Will Smith will be seeing the next Bad Boys sequel, Bad Boys Ride or Die, given... Just to show how short the Hollywood memory is, he slapped a man on stage. Everyone said his career was over. He's been in 3 movies since then.
Yeah, but they haven't done any then well. But it's so... we were talking about this before the show. There has never been like a quicker turnaround of... just not liking somebody.
Oh, you know? I can't believe how quickly I was just like, I can't. I loved Will Smith.
Yeah, same.
And like the fact that he did that 1 second, it was like, no. Like, no.
It was disgusting and almost equally as disgusting. And this is why I cannot stand the Academy Awards. Is right after he assaulted Chris Rock, assaulted him. These MFers give him a standing ovation.
I know.
And an Oscar.
Yeah.
He should have been in jail.
I know.
In jail.
So the cast Bill Pullman is President Thomas J. Whitmore.
President Whitmore.
President Whitmore was originally intended to be a Richard Nixon-like figure. The role was originally written for Kevin Spacey, Dean Devlin's friend from high school. The irony is that an executive of Fox refused to cast Spacey, not because he was a creepy weirdo, but because he insisted that Spacey didn't have the potential to be a big star.
Well, he was wrong, but he is a creepy weirdo.
Yeah, I know.
It's sad too because again, I loved him.
An incredibly talented actor.
Very talented, but just a creep.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, man. This is why I don't like to know anything about the actors.
I know. I actively don't. I don't want to learn things about people.
I do want to learn if somebody is a sexual predator or a physical assaulter because that just makes them a piece of ass.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So the part was rewritten, and Bill Pullman was then cast in the role.
Yeah.
Pullman had a major role in Ruthless People, starring Danny DeVito and Bette Midler from the Zucker Brothers and Jim Abrams, the creators of Airplane.
Such a funny movie.
I don't think I've ever seen this.
It's not a great movie, but Bill Pullman plays the biggest idiot on the planet. He dresses like Miami Vice. Like Crockett, and he's just. It's the dumbest kidnap movie ever. It is so I don't know. I love Bette Midler. I love Danny DeVito.
I really like the Zucker Brothers and Jim Abrams. So I'm surprised I've never seen this.
Oh, we'll cover it. It's definitely not a great movie, but it's a fun movie.
Yeah. Other notable films include The Lead in Spaceballs in 1987. Listen to our episode on Spaceballs.
Yeah.
And The Serpent and the Rainbow in 1988 from Wes Craven.
Yeah, where he got a spike through his penis.
Oh, great. I think I've seen Serpent and the Rainbow. I think I blocked most of it out.
It's really weird. It has a lot to do with Haitian, quote unquote, zombies. But it's like they blow this stuff into your face and it It's Wes Craven, right?
It's an interesting movie. Yeah.
It's definitely worth a watch.
In 1996, along with Independence Day, Pullman appeared in Mr. Wrong, the Ellen DeGeneres star vehicle, which was a critical and box office failure.
Yeah, I wonder what went wrong there. He was definitely Mr. Wrong.
To prepare for the role, Pullman read Bob Woodward's The Commanders and watched the documentary film The War Room.
For Mr. Wrong?
Yeah. Bill Pullman, he had to. I mean, if the stories about Ellen DeGeneres are true, Bill Pullman's delivery of the Independence Day speech was so good that the extras just started applauding and cheering on their own, and the filmmakers kept it in the movie.
Today is our Independence Day.
It's not like, people didn't feel obligated since he was literally making the speech. I find it a little dubious.
Yeah.
That they're like, oh no, we weren't told to do it.
Hey, it's a good speech and he's a good actor.
Sure.
And that speech has been used and used and used in very awful ways.
Pullman can most recently be seen in Murdaugh Murders, the movie, playing Alex Murdaugh.
Ooh, really?
Yeah. I don't know where it is.
I think it's on Hulu.
Okay.
Because I think I saw. I didn't know that was him. It's a very Southern Gothic tale about a very rich,
very
small
local,
town family.
rich small town family
that basically their family runs the town with their law firm and stuff.
It's like the beginning of a Reacher book.
I mean, I'm sure it made a very compelling film. I'm curious to see it now.
Yeah, you'll have to check it out. I love Bill Pullman, so I will have to watch it.
Yeah.
Jeff Goldblum was cast as David Levinson.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh,
David!
Okay, David.
I'm right here. Shh.
David is
Shut up.
the most said word in the entire script.
Yeah, if you play the David drinking game, you'll die.
Yeah.
You will die by the second act.
Devlin actually based David Levinson on Bethesda Softworks founder Christopher Weaver.
Okay.
So when you're watching the movie, think about the guy who founded Bethesda.
Yeah, he talk funny with the whole like whoop, hee ha hoo hoo, oops. So I put that in the movie, make him that guy. He a good guy.
Matthew Broderick was offered the role of David Levinson, but had to turn it down due to scheduling conflicts.
I'm David Levinson.
Goldblum, he would eventually work with him on
Godzilla.
Next movie on Godzilla.
Yeah, good for him. Yeah. Way to go, Matthew Broderick. Nice choice.
Goldblum made his feature film debut in the Charles Bronson actioner Death Wish in 1974.
Death. Ooh, I got a wish.
I wonder. I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
He's really young and skinny.
Yeah,
it's a small part.
It just makes me wonder if he's less Jeff Goldblum than he is.
Yeah, because I think he's one of the punks.
Yeah,
I'm not positive.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it.
We're definitely going to cover Death Wish at some point.
Here we are, Pally.
Goldblum quickly started getting lead roles in movies like
The Fly, Deep Cover, Jurassic Park, Earth Girls Are Easy, The Tall Guy, Vibes, and Into the Night.
As well as supporting roles in great movies like
Invasion of the Body Snatchers, The Big Chill, The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai, Across the Eighth Dimension. Oh, he's so good. Oh, yeah.
He's so good. He's good in everything. I mean, Goldblum is one of those people that just makes everything better.
Well, there's nobody like him.
Yeah.
He's an anomaly. He's weird, but sexy and odd. I mean, there's
charming.
He's just a bundle of contradictions that somehow go into this delicious little package of wonderful.
Goldblum taught acting at Playhouse West in North Hollywood with Robert Carnegie.
God, that would be a great class.
Oh my God, yeah.
Okay, everyone, just get around, hold some hands, and we're gonna monologue.
He parodied that in an episode of Friends.
Oh, nice.
You remember that with Joey, where Joey really had to go to the bathroom, and Jeff Goldblum was like, "That's amazing. Can you do it again?" And he's like, "No!" And he runs out. Yeah.
I don't remember.
It's one of the best episodes of Friends. It was with several actors from this acting company that he improvised and directed the live-action short film Little Surprises, which was nominated for an Academy Award in 1996.
Nice.
Dean Devlin said that most of the dialogue in the scenes Jeff Goldblum shared with Judd Hirsch and Will Smith were improvised.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Most of it was
David! What are you doing, David? David! You have to protect yourself, David! David!
Goldblum will be seen in the upcoming 2-part musical Wicked and Wicked Part 2.
I will not be seeing those.
I believe he actually plays the
Wizard?
The wizard, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I still...
I think. Don't quote me on that.
Not a big fan of Wicked.
Not a fan of Wicked either. I saw the stage play. I read the book. Disliked them both. I am a huge fan of The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
And they were sad bastardizations.
Oops.
Yeah. Mary McDonnell was cast as First Lady Marilyn Whitmore. McDonnell started on stage and television. That's awful. Started on stage and television with a few films under his belt until she appeared in Dances with Wolves in 1990.
Wait, say that again and say her belt instead of his belt.
Oh, did I say his belt?
Yeah.
Oh. I got thrown by your insane hatred of Mary McDonnell.
Okay, I don't hate Mary McDonnell.
You literally went, blah!
Well, I don't.
That's awful. That's an awful thing to say.
Look, she redeemed herself. I know she's very happy about that. She was very worried about my dislike of her for so many decades, but she redeemed herself in Battlestar Galactica because she basically played a really obnoxious person.
She did it well.
Really well. Because it was playing herself.
She started on stage and television with a few films under her belt until she appeared in Dances with Wolves in 1990, Jim's favorite movie of all time.
Kicking
And
bird.
to show how good of an actress she was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. In 1992, she would earn an Academy Award nomination for Best Actress for Passion Fish, written and directed by John Sayles.
John Sayles is incredible.
It's actually a really great movie.
It is. And although I still did not there's something about her and the way she's carries herself. I don't know. There's something about her that just rubs me the wrong way.
Could just see your face when you just did her impression.
It's not her fault. I know I'm probably in the minority on this. And again, I do really like her now after, it's like Ethan Hawke.
Yes. You've
many
come around.
decades of despising, and now I like him.
You've come around, yeah.
And you know what's crazy is Mary McDonnell, Ethan Hawke, and I, we're going out to dinner.
Great.
On
That's
Thursday.
great.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So
all right.
we put it all behind us.
Mary McDonnell accepted her role immediately for Independence Day after her agent pitched the film by simply saying,
"It's about 15-mile wide spaceships."
McDonnell would return to sci-fi, playing President Laura Roslin in the miniseries in 71 episodes of Battlestar Galactica. She most recently can be seen in The Fall of the House of Usher from Mike Flanagan on Netflix.
Okay. She was pretty good in that, too. Look, she was good. She's good now. Look, she's I've come around. I still don't like her performances when she was younger. I did not like her, and I do not like Green Eggs and Ham. I do not like Mary McDonnell's jam.
Judd Hirsch was cast as Julius Levinson, David Levinson's father.
David!
The character was based on one of Dean Devlin's uncles.
Poor Dean Devlin.
Oh, God. Poor uncle.
Dean, you're making movies, Dean. Boy, you put a jacket on, Dean. You're going to catch cold, Dean. Get off of the car. Ooh, David.
You have a tendency to get closer when you do them.
I can't help it.
Okay. Though he plays his father, Judd Hirsch is only 17 years older than Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, he was a young dad.
It's still believable. I
Sure.
mean, it's better than Harrison Ford and Sean Connery and Indiana Jones.
I drew when I was 6.
Hirsch flowed easily from TV to features to Broadway. He just was everywhere all the time.
Great actor.
He made a lasting impression in Taxi, appearing in 114 episodes from 1978 to 1983. Every time we talk about Taxi, you do this theme song, and I still have no idea what it is.
You need to watch Taxi.
He would be nominated 5 times for Outstanding Leading Actor at the Emmys, winning twice. During that run of Taxi, he was also in Ordinary People, directed by Robert Redford.
Oh, he was so good in that.
He would be nominated for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for the role.
Yep.
He would be nominated for the same award in 2022 for Steven Spielberg's The Fabelmans.
The Fabelmans. I never watched it.
I never saw it either.
David.
He most recently appeared in Rally Caps, a baseball movie about a kid that gets hurt on the field and becomes an actor. Just kidding about the actor.
Okay, well, that sounds about right for every
But it's
star.
it's literally about a 12-year-old who gets hurt and loses. And I was just like, why did you make a whole movie about this? Anyway.
Are you all right? Is his name David?
I don't. I think his name's Rally.
David.
Robert Loggia was cast as General William Gray, USMC.
Robert Loggia.
Loggia made his acting debut on Broadway at the age of 25 in 1955.
I sounded just like this at 25.
I actually probably did. He had his first feature film starring role in 1963 in Cattle King, playing Johnny Quattro.
Johnny Quattro.
Prior to Independence Day, Loggia had appeared in supporting parts in a series of B-movies, a far cry from his Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor with Jagged Edge in 1985.
Oh, he was great in that.
Loggia modeled the character after World War II generals, particularly George S. Patton.
Mr. President.
He was very no-nonsense.
He was. Director Roland Emmerich was notified one day that Robert Loggia was very upset and refused to leave his trailer. Apparently, Several days earlier, producer Dean Devlin accidentally suggested to Loggia that he watch Airplane for inspiration when he actually meant to suggest Airport.
Hey, Robert, maybe you should watch, I don't know, Airplane for your performance?
First of all, I do my own performances. Don't tell me to watch something and model it after it. And second of all, is that a spoof movie? I'm not going to be made an ass of.
Not familiar.
Robert Loggia.
He didn't know. He hadn't seen either of them, so he didn't know what they were. Not familiar with either film, Loggia rented Airplane, and after watching it, thought they had unknowingly been participating in the production of a spoof movie, and was really pissed off.
And I want my $3 back that I spent renting it.
Yeah, I just love that he went and rented the movie.
Where's the nearest blockbuster?
Loggia worked constantly up until his death in December of 2015. The last role he filmed was a cameo in the Independence Day sequel, Independence Day Resurgence.
Ugh.
Although he worked so much that he did have 3 other movies he'd previously shot released posthumously after that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that seems like every really good... I mean,
Yeah.
I think Robert... I think Ray Liotta still has movies coming out.
Oh, he does. He does. And it's been like 2 years.
Yeah.
At least 2 years.
Loggia was awesome, man. He had
was such a great actor.
A totally recognizable voice. He did anger really well, and he did comedy really well. And
his comedy's my favorite.
He's just one of those guys that is perfect every time.
Yeah.
Like, you always get a solid performance if you got your
Yes.
Loggia on.
Yeah. Randy Quaid was cast as Russell Case.
People aren't going to realize that this isn't acting.
Quaid's career was started by Peter Bogdanovich, who cast him in The Last Picture Show in 1971.
Have you seen that?
I believe I saw it in college. I don't remember any of it.
Such a great movie, and he is really great in it. And,
Yeah.
I mean, he's just a baby boy.
Well,
And
Bogdanovich actually saw him. He was going to the University of Texas at Austin and saw him in a play and was like, I have to put you in my movie.
hey, man, Randy Quaid was talented.
He was very talented. It's too bad that he's crazy.
So sad.
Yeah. He was nominated for an Academy Award, a BAFTA Award, and a Golden Globe Award for his role in The Last Detail in 1973.
That's a really good movie.
That I've definitely not seen.
Is that the one with Jack Nicholson?
I don't know.
I think, and well, he plays a sailor, and they take the sailor out, who I think is like going to Vietnam or something the next day.
Oh, okay.
And it's like their last night of partying.
I feel like
or
we've
whatever.
talked about this before. Yeah.
And he's the soldier
That's going
that
out
they're
to
taking out.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
it's a really good movie.
Okay, we'll cover it at some point. Quaid also won a Golden Globe and was nominated for an Emmy Award for his portrayal of the U.S. President Lyndon Johnson in LBJ: The Early Years in 1987.
Yeah, back when I was a baseball player.
He also received Emmy nominations for his role in A Streetcar Named Desire in 1984 and Elvis in 2005.
Well, thank you very much.
He's been nominated for everything. He also, in addition to being loved for his role as Cousin Eddie in the National Lampoon's Vacation movies, which is the thing that I know him from.
Oh, yeah.
Most. He's so great in those. Unfortunately, despite all of that, it was shortly after this that Randy Quaid started descending into lunacy.
So sad.
This is going to take a while, so buckle in. In 2006, he sued the producers of Brokeback Mountain, saying they misrepresented the film to get him for cheaper than he was worth.
Okay.
They settled out of court. In 2009, Quaid and his wife were arrested for allegedly defrauding an innkeeper in Santa Barbara by using an invalid credit card to pay a $10,000 bill.
I think his marriage was toxic. Not their relationship,
I
but
think it definitely brought out the worst in him.
I think when two crazies get together and their crazy is celebrated within their relationship and expanded, this is what happened here.
Yeah. After repeatedly failing to appear in court, an arrest warrant for Quaid got him a court date, and it was dismissed due to lack of evidence.
Okay.
In September 2010, Quaid and his wife were charged up with burglary after they spent 5 days occupying the guest house in a vacant home they once owned in Santa Barbara.
What the F?
Again, they missed their court date and had warrants issued. They just really didn't like showing up in court.
Apparently.
In October 2010, Quaid and his wife moved to Vancouver, Canada, where they sought asylum protections under the Canadian Immigration and Refugee Protection Act, stating that they feared for their lives in the United States.
Yeah, this is where things get really crazy.
They were arrested at the border, never actually made it to Canada. His wife was eventually given Canadian residency due to her parentage. One of her parents was from Canada.
Okay.
But Quaid was denied citizenship.
Denied.
In 2014, the Quaid sued the U.S. State Department for revoking their passports in 2011.
Okay.
By 2015, Quaid's legal appeals in Canada were exhausted, and he was notified that he was to be deported, so he was actually able to be in Canada the whole time. 1 week prior to the deportation date, the couple drove across the Canadian border into Vermont, where they were detained by U.S. Customs.
All right.
The state of California wanted to extradite him, but a judge in Vermont found irregularities in the case and allowed them to stay in Vermont, where they now make their home.
Weird. Just
Yeah.
weird.
Something was filed incorrectly, and so the Vermont judge was like, nah, this isn't happening.
I hate that.
Yeah, it was a total technical error.
A guy who killed a baby.
Yeah.
Shook a baby to death. Killed a baby. He just got off for some sort of technical BS.
Yeah. He has appeared in one film since 2011, a 2018 movie called All You Can Eat, where he was nominated for a Best Supporting Actor award by the Northeast Film Festival.
Yes, the very celebrated and well-known Northeast Film Festival.
You can't keep a good actor down. Margaret Collin was cast as Constance Spano. Ally Walker was originally cast to play Spano. When Ally Walker suddenly became unavailable at the last minute, there was a rush to find a new actress to portray Connie.
Whatever happened to Ally Walker? I think
don't
she had
know.
alcohol problems.
Oh,
or
did she?
something. I think so.
Oh.
I don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure.
I don't even know if I really know who Ally Walker is.
She's blonde.
The name
she's
sounds
skinny.
familiar, but
she
like,
was in a ton of stuff. I think she was in Soldier.
Oh, okay. Now that you say that,
Yeah.
that actually sounds more that I'm putting a face to the name.
But she was in a ton of stuff.
Total recall of Soldier for some reason.
Yeah.
Okay. When then 37-year-old Margaret Collin jokingly told an inexperienced casting assistant that she was only 22, the man assumed she was too young and called the producers to tell them she was unavailable. When the confusion was cleared up, Collin landed the role and began filming scenes in Utah less than 24 hours after she was cast.
Wow. Crazy.
Yeah, Collin made her feature film debut in Pretty in Pink in 1986, playing an English teacher. She had more success in TV, appearing in 33 episodes of Gossip Girl, along with a new version that aired in 2021.
Yeah.
Collin can most recently be seen in 3 Wise Men and a Baby, a Christmas Hallmark movie that is not related to the more popular 3 Men and a Baby, in which she also appeared in 1987.
Yeah, she was somebody's love interest. I don't remember which one.
I think it was Ted Danson's love interest.
Either him or Tom Selleck, who knows?
Oh, that's true. Could have been. I don't know.
She's very generic. She does
Yeah.
a fine job, but she's the generic white lady.
Yeah. I mean,
If you need a generic white lady,
I like her in this
Margaret
movie,
Collin.
but mostly because she's mostly with Jeff Goldblum, and he makes everybody better.
She's maddening in this movie because
Yes,
she knows how. We talked about this. You were so upset about this.
I was.
She knows how brilliant her David, her ex-husband,
He's a genius.
is.
He's a genius, certified genius.
And she's just like, no, you can't talk to
What? I have. See all those big ships in the sky? I have a thing that could help save everyone.
No, David, no.
Yeah, that is my least favorite trope in movies.
When people don't believe something
People
that they
refuse to believe.
It's just dumb artificial conflict for no reason.
Yeah. Creating unnecessary conflict. It doesn't need to be there.
No, it's false tension, so it gets, we get down to the last bits of the countdown.
The movie's 2.5 hours long. They could have cut 4 minutes out. I mean, come on.
Well, and it's also just, are you that petty, Constance?
Yeah, you obviously had issues in your
We
relationship.
know he wasn't the best husband, but he's a smart MFer.
Oh, but then she has to go later to say to Judd Hirsch, well, when he says, David he still loves you.
There's
She's
still
like,
love there.
Well,
There's still love there with David.
Love was never the problem. Oh, okay. Well, then you should have believed him.
Yeah.
Like, what? You literally caused people to die.
Yeah, she doesn't care. Well,
Now I hate her. Vivica A. Fox was cast as Jasmine Dubrow.
I love Vivica A. Fox.
She's so good. Fox began her career in Soul Train from 1982 to 1983.
Soul Train.
Nice. She also played roles on the daytime television soap operas Days of Our Lives and Generations. I'm pretty sure I watched her on Days of Our Lives because my mom loved that show.
Nice.
In primetime, she starred opposite Patti LaBelle in the NBC sitcom Out All Night in 1992.
Nice.
Fox's breakthrough came in 1996 with roles in 2 box office hit films, Independence Day and F. Gary Gray's Set It Off.
Oh, that was good, yeah.
I don't remember it all. In 1986, though, she also appeared in one of the greatest titles of any movie ever, Don't Be a Menace to South Central or Drinking Your Juice in the Hood, as Ashtray's mom.
Ashtray. It's a pretty funny movie.
It's a great movie. It's stupid as hell, but it's so funny. Fox works constantly, sometimes appearing in 13 movies in a year, along with numerous TV shows and producing.
Don't forget, she was amazing in Kill Bill.
Yes.
Volume
Oh,
1.
she was so good in Kill Bill.
Yeah. I hope they make the 3rd one with her daughter coming back to kill
God, that would be awesome.
the bride.
I don't know. Tarantino takes so long to make movies now.
Well, apparently his last movie is the Critic.
The coming one. Yeah. We'll see. Since 2011, she's appeared in at least one holiday-themed movie every year.
Cool.
In 2016, she started producing and starring in a series of Lifetime movies called The Wrong... ... Literally, The Wrong... Just fill in the blank for whatever you want to call it. There's been 26 of these movies.
Damn, way to find a niche.
The most recent being released in 2024 called The Wrong Life Coach.
Okay.
It is insane. I did not know these existed.
Well, there's a whole world of Hallmark movies that you just don't know about.
Well, a lot of these, like her holiday-themed movies, between Hallmark and Lifetime, there's always one or two. Because mostly it's Christmas stuff, but then there's sometimes a Thanksgiving movie she's in. There's sometimes, like, an Easter movie she's in.
I'll be flipping through Hulu, and I'll be like, ooh, this is like a serial killer movie or something. And I'll see Lifetime.
Yeah.
And be like, nope.
No.
Although I did have a period of time, I had a good friend who loved hate-watching Lifetime movies.
Oh, yeah?
And I gotta be honest, it's pretty fun.
Look, they're not... I don't dismiss the movies outright. Mostly the holiday movies. I don't.
No, they're awful.
But they're fun to watch.
Exactly. They're like Madam Web. They're dumb.
Going in, they're not going to be good.
You get some drinks with a friend and watch some Lifetime movies. You will have a blast.
But I will say, all these movies, these holiday movies, all these Wrong Life movies, the Wrong movies, whatever, they're all produced by Vivica A. Fox.
Good for her.
She is a genius.
That is awesome.
She's brilliant.
I am so glad. She is. She seems like a really great person.
She found her niche in Hollywood, and she ran with it.
Yeah, and she succeeded. Good for her.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So there's a ton more actors in Independence Day, and if I went through all of them, this podcast would literally be 8 years long. So here's some quick takes. James Rebhorn as Albert Nimzicki, the Secretary of Defense. He's a character actor that appeared in more than 100 movies and TV shows, like
Son of a Woman, The Game, Carlito's Way, My Cousin Vinny, and Meet the Parents. Oh, he is so good in The Game.
Oh my God,
that is one of
so
my
good.
favorite performances.
So good.
He is a solid character actor.
Yes.
And he always plays kind of a... That's why I love him in The Game, because he always plays kind of a worm.
Yeah.
And in The Game, my favorite scene is like at the end... if you haven't seen the movie, spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
But not really spoiler. But the end when there's the party...
Yeah.
Him dancing around is just, it is my favorite.
So great. Every time he pops up, I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's so good at playing the dick. And he's like, Mr. President.
Oh.
And he's like, Mr. President, you cannot do this.
The worst decision I ever made was making you my Secretary of Defense. You're fired.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he redeems himself, which I always liked when a despicable character is redeemed.
Yeah, yeah.
Where it's like they're not just pure evil, but it's such and this is a really funny line when, he gets fired and then Judd Hirsch, everybody come around, let's pray. And he's like,
yeah,
but I'm not Jewish. Nobody's perfect.
The character's eventual firing lampoons Joe Nimzicki, MGM's head of advertising, who made life unpleasant for Devlin and Emmerich when studio executives forced recuts of Stargate.
Sure. Get your revenge. Get your petty revenge.
Dean Devlin, yeah. Rebhorn had recurring roles in the TV shows White Collar and Homeland when he died at his home in South Orange, New Jersey on March 21st, 2014, as a result of melanoma, which he had been battling since 1992.
God damn. Oh, that's so
He actually
sad.
wrote his own obituary.
Wow.
Yeah. Knew he was going to go. It just sucks. He's such a good actor. And it's just sad. Too early,
and just, knowing you're about to go. That just seems awful.
That sucks. Harvey Fierstein was cast as Marty Gilbert.
David, maybe I'll call my lawyer. Maybe not. David.
Firestein was one of the first openly gay actors in the United States. Firestein's distinctive gravelly voice is a result of an overdeveloped vestibular fold in his vocal cords.
I have an overdeveloped vestibular fold in my vocal cords.
Essentially giving him a quote-unquote double voice when he speaks.
I got one deep voice, and then I got a deeper voice.
Yeah, that's really, at the end of the day, yes. Firestein has won 4 Tony Awards and was nominated for an Emmy for his guest role on Cheers.
Sam, Diane.
He also did the voiceover narration for Disarm Hate, a very wonderful documentary that you should check out on Amazon Prime.
Yes, that I was the cinematographer and the producer of
it. It's actually a really great movie.
It was one of the best experiences in my life. Yeah. And he does a great job. He was a pioneer, and he opened a lot of doors for people.
Yeah.
And he's a hero.
He is. He's fantastic. Adam Baldwin was cast as Major Mitchell, USAF Area 51's commanding officer.
I'm a commanding officer.
Despite what literally everyone thinks, Adam Baldwin is not related to the Baldwin brothers.
He's a cousin. I'm just kidding.
He is not related to the Baldwin brothers.
I thought for years he was.
I thought he was too. He made his film debut in My Bodyguard in 1980, a movie we have not covered yet.
Love that movie. He is so goddamn good in that movie. He is so good.
He was big. He was just a big kid.
Well, he just carried himself. He wasn't even that big, but he carried himself, and it's just a really amazing performance of like PTSD and also things that weren't really defined back then.
Right.
He plays this. There's this rich kid who's getting bullied by Matt Dillon, and so he hires this kid that everybody thinks, oh, he killed his teacher. He's like that kid in school that has all those rumors about him.
Right.
He's the loner, got a little motorcycle, and he's just like, everybody, he killed his teacher. Everybody's totally afraid of him. So the kid hires him as his bodyguard.
Right.
And then they become friends. A really great performance by him. Oh, an amazing performance by Ruth Gordon as the grandmother.
Oh, yeah.
Really, a really good little movie. I can't wait to cover it.
Yeah. I do like that you literally just rolled Matt Dillon off your tongue really easily. We couldn't think of it an hour ago.
I know. Coffee's kicked in.
Adam Baldwin later appeared in Full Metal Jacket in 1987 as Animal Mother, which is so good. I love that movie so much. And in the television series Firefly and its continuation film Serenity.
Yeah, as Jane. I love that his character's name was Jane.
Yeah, it's Firefly and Serenity were fantastic.
Amazing, and he was so good in it. And great on Chuck. He was on Chuck.
Oh yeah. Who's the FBI CIA guy or whatever. Yeah. It was so good. He's good. He's a great actor. Brent Spiner was cast as Dr. Brackish Oaken.
Oh man, this is really groovy stuff.
The character's appearance and verbal style are based upon those of visual effects supervisor Jeffrey A. Oaken, with whom Emmerich had worked on Stargate.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult.
I don't know. And what did he do? Like, how did Brent Spiner? How did Brent Spiner, like, did he introduce him to him?
I guess he did. I mean, he probably asked, well, why?
Brent, come over here for a second, okay?
Why is his name Oaken? Like, that's very odd.
Brent, this guy, he make special effects for my Stargate, and so I want you to be him for the movie. Make a fun of him for the movie. Give stringy hair. And, be a weirdo. Can you be weirdo?
Brent Spiner is most well known as Data from Star Trek The Next Generation.
Data?
Data?
Well, it's Data.
You're
going to piss off a lot of Star Trek fans.
Whatever. Harry Connick Jr. is Marine Captain Jimmy Wilder. Connick took over the role from Matthew Perry, who was originally cast.
Matthew Perry? From Friends?
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, it makes sense. He was real popular back then.
He was. He was huge in Friends.
Harry Connick Jr. was very popular dude back then.
Yeah, he was. Connick Jr. is more well known for his music career, although he does have a movie and TV career.
Oh, he did. He was on Will and Grace for.
Yeah, look, I looked up his stuff. Will and Grace is the one thing that I was like, okay. Most of his movies, I was just like, okay.
He played like a serial killer in some movie.
That one too. It was just before Independence Day.
Yeah,
I don't remember what it was called.
Well, he had
Copycat Killer.
A copycat with name.
Which actually was a really good movie. I remember enjoying it.
That's the one with Sigourney Weaver.
Yes.
And she's agoraphobic.
Yes.
And she's a profiler.
And has to,
Hi, serial killer. Hi,
my serial killer.
He got really popular because in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, the whole, like, Sinatra crooner thing came back, and he was a crooner. He was like the Michael Bublé before Michael Bublé.
Yes, he was.
Great piano player, amazing musician.
Oh yeah. And he's a fine actor.
Good looking dude.
A little over the top in Independence Day.
He's a goon. He's a goofy goon, but that's part of his charm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't disagree.
We're all sad.
This screening of it, for some reason, his characters rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Well, because he sang about stuff.
Oh my God. I was like, Jesus, man, if I was around him, I'd be like, you need to stop.
I ain't going to let you go space with no stripper wife.
Although it did have one of the funniest moments in the movie when he goes, but this is a ring. And then he's sitting down and the guy in the back is just like, huh?
He's like, I don't want any part of this. This is what you're doing.
It's very progressive for 1996.
Yeah. I'm sure Will Smith was like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Harry Connick Jr., I guess he still plays and does stuff.
Yeah. He's still around.
But he's he seems like
He actually appears in some of the holiday movies with Vivica A. Fox.
Does he?
Yeah, I mean, at least one.
Good.
But yeah, he's done a bunch of Lifetime. Like, he's still acting. He's still performing.
Hey, he's innocuous. I have
no,
no problem with him.
he seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, and a great music. I have the Harry Connick Jr. album.
He's very talented.
Yeah.
Frank Welker actually did some special vocal effects for the movie. I think don't quote me on this, but I think he did the voice of the alien when Brent Spiner was getting puppeted. Yeah, I think that was Frank Welker. Okay, so is there anybody else that you want to mention?
Yeah, just a few quickies. There's Mae Whitman, who played the daughter.
Oh, yes, the daughter, who was very young in this movie. Did not realize it was Mae Whitman.
Not until this viewing did I know it was Mae Whitman. Mae Whitman was in Scott Pilgrim. She was in the Parenthood TV series. An amazing actor.
Great actor.
Just great at comedy, great at drama. Somebody that I love watching. Yeah. And I didn't know she was
I had no idea that was her.
But she was great in it, playing the president's daughter.
Yeah.
Ross Bagley, which was funny, he played the stepson, the Vivica A. Fox's son.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure he was also on...
He was on Fresh Prince. Yeah, for at least 3 or 4 seasons, I believe.
Yeah. He was a super cute little kid, looks exactly the same.
He was great in the movie.
You throw a mustache and a little... chin sweeper down there, and he looks exactly the same.
He actually retired from acting in 2011.
There's also Dan Lauria, who played the dad on Wonder Years.
Yes,
great actor.
He was in that. Yeah,
he still shows up in some stuff, but he's a really good.
He's a great actor.
So good on that show.
Solid.
Wayne Wilderson, you would totally know from his face. I'm not sure exactly what other stuff he was in. John Capodice, I think how you say his name. He's an Italian guy. He was in The Sopranos. He was in a lot of stuff.
What is he playing this?
He was just he's that guy. I don't remember who he was.
Oh no, he was he was the owner of the strip club.
Yes,
the Vivica A. Fox.
The strip club owner.
Yeah,
and I think.
He's another very Italian character actor, but he's great.
A guy who's been in everything.
Along with the 3 kids, the Russell's kids. All 3 of them have gone on to do more stuff.
Oh, yeah. James Duvall.
Yeah.
He was in Greg Araki. The Doom Generation, a couple of his other movies. Really good actor. Did a lot of independent stuff. Giuseppe Andrews was his brother. I don't think he really did anything.
He did some stuff after, but I believe he was retired from acting as well.
And then Lisa Jacob. Or Jacob.
Jacob
the Liar. She was in Mrs. Doubtfire as one of the daughters. So there's a lot of people that you recognize.
It's just a huge ensemble cast.
Oh, yeah.
Huge.
Yeah. Let's not forget Rance Howard.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Ron Howard's dad.
Ron Howard's dad was in it, too, yeah.
He was the preacher or minister or chaplain, whatever.
The chaplain who in Area 51.
Yes.
Who marries...
Gotta have a chaplain.
Marries Will Smith and Vivica A. Fox.
So again, a ton of...
Just huge movie.
Who's who of recognizable character actors.
So within the very first few minutes of the very first day of principal photography, a pigeon pooped on Dean Devlin's head.
It's good luck.
Yeah, that's what locals were quick to inform him, that in New York City, this is considered a sign of good luck.
Yeah, I had a pigeon poop on my golf glove once.
Oh, wow.
Golf glove.
The glove.
I looked down, there's poop on it.
Wow.
It wasn't mine. It was pigeons.
If your poop looks like pigeon poop, you should go to the doctor.
I know. Well, all I eat is seeds.
The U.S. military originally intended to provide personnel, vehicles, and costumes for the film. However, they backed out when the producers refused to remove the script's Area 51 references.
Hey, look, that's classified.
This is a little too dead on. Is somebody down there telling you about this?
Yeah. Area 51 has been a boogeyman for the conspiratory set.
It's easy
for
because
many years.
It's all classified.
Well, look, it's a test. From what we know, it's a place where they test aircraft.
Yeah,
and it was close enough to the Roswell crash.
Yeah.
That they say that's where all of the...
They took him there because that's what it was.
Right.
Production designer Patrick... Although I will say about the way they covered Area 51 Independence Day was brilliant.
Yeah.
The whole, Bill Pullman's like, no, that doesn't exist.
It's nothing like that.
And then
I would know about it if there was.
The best response from J. Brett Horn.
Well, actually, Mr. President...
Plausible deniability.
What? Yeah, exactly.
It's so great. So production designer Patrick Tatopoulos presented Roland Emmerich with 2 concepts for the aliens. Emmerich liked both designs so much, he came up with the idea to use one design as the actual alien and the other to be a biomechanical suit the aliens could wear.
Cool.
Both of them appear in the film.
I will have to say the aliens are very cool. They're very Geiger looking, though.
Yes, I like how the aliens are designed. I think that the ships and stuff leave a lot to be desired.
Yeah, they're very generic.
They're fine. Yeah. I mean, they're just kind of generic. The movie holds the record for most miniature model work to appear in one film. Model shop supervisor Michael Joyce estimated that more miniatures were used for this film than in any other 2 films combined.
Ooh.
It was apparently over like 4,000 shots of miniatures.
Well, they had to blow a lot of crap up.
They did. Well, and just on top of the fact that like all the planes and like... it was
it was a lot of practical effects.
Yes. Due to the advances in digital technology since the film's release, most experts believe this record may stand forever.
It's sad. I miss models. Models made things look, even though you could tell a lot of times they were models, there was a visceral feel.
Yeah.
You know, when the White House, when I worked for ILM, I watched them blow up a White House or something. And it's so anticlimactic. It's like,
yeah, it's like matchsticks.
And and everything. It's just, they undercrank the camera, so it looks beautiful because it's all in slow-mo. But if you're actually there watching it, it's just like,
it's
so lame.
Very, very anticlimactic.
That's it?
Yeah. Except for the biplane during the crop dusting scene, any airplane seen in the air in this film is either a model or computer-generated effect.
Oh.
Over 70 mock news broadcasts were created for the film. All used real-life newscasters since the makers believed the actors could not look convincing enough in each scene.
That's the one cool thing about being a newscaster is a lot of times you'll get into movies as yourself.
Yeah. The shoot utilized on-set in-camera special effects more often than computer-generated effects in an effort to save money and get more authentic pyrotechnic results.
Very cool.
Many of these shots were accomplished at Hughes Aircraft in Culver City, California, where the film's art department, motion control photography teams, pyrotechnics teams, and model shops were headquartered. The advertising campaign cost $24 million.
A lot at the time.
Yeah. The airtime for the trailer shown during the Super Bowl cost $1.3 million.
And that's why the movie was a success.
We can also blame Independence Day for movie trailers premiering during the Super Bowl because it was so big.
Oh, yeah. That's what made this movie. It was a brilliant trailer.
And it gave away so little.
No. Everybody's like, I'm in.
It's like, I have to see this.
Brilliant. Whoever was the marketing person for this is a genius.
Yeah. Independence Day was the highest grossing film of 1996, surpassing both Twister and Mission Impossible.
Both crap. Crap movies.
I liked both those movies.
Mission Impossible is a mess. The first one, if you watch it again, it is an absolute mess. It makes absolutely no sense.
I don't disagree. I was entertained by it, much like Twister. It's not a great movie. I was entertained. So Independence Day earned $104.3 million in its opening week, including $96.1 million during its 5-day holiday opening and $50.2 million during the opening weekend.
Juggernaut, man.
Huge. The film stayed at the number 1 spot for 3 consecutive weeks before being displaced by A Time to Kill.
A Time to Kill. Man, this thing was just nonstop. It was unstoppable, and people just loved it because we hadn't seen. Disaster movies were huge in the 70s, but we hadn't seen anything like this in a while.
Well, and it was that, like, I remember distinctly before this movie came out being like, why haven't they ever made a movie about the aliens actually invading?
Yeah.
Like, why is it just the aliens come down kind of like how they thought,
right.
Emmerich and Devlin thought. Like, why haven't we seen that?
Well, we had with War of the Worlds and with
that was from 1954.
Right. But I'm just saying, it's like, but you're right, it hadn't been done for a while.
Done in a modern way.
Yeah. So, I mean, what we learned is people love watching beloved things being destroyed.
That is so true. That is so true. The movie broke the records for fastest to $100 million in just 7 days and fastest $200 million in 20 days, both previously held by Jurassic Park, which came out in 93.
Which I also saw at The Man's Chinese.
Which also starred Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, yes. Oops. Oops.
Independence Day grossed $306,169,268 in the United States and Canada, and $511,231,623 in other territories during its theatrical run.
It would have only made $306,169,260 if I didn't go.
Right. Congrats.
That $8 is because of me.
The combined worldwide total of $817,400,891 surpassed The Lion King, second only to the worldwide earnings of Jurassic Park as the highest-grossing movie of all time.
Yep.
The movie would be nominated for 2 Academy Awards, Best Sound and Best Visual Effects, which it won.
Yeah, it should have.
Yeah. Disaster elements portrayed in Twister and Independence Day, both in '96, represented a significant turning point for Hollywood blockbuster films.
Yeah, I remember. Well, because ILM, we did Twister.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing some of the effect shots before that came out. It was like, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah, yeah. With advancements in CGI special effects, events depicting mass destruction became commonplace in films that soon followed, such as Dante Peaks and Volcano, both in '97, as well as Deep Impact.
Do that again, because you said Dante Peaks.
Dante Peaks?
Yeah.
That's the porn version.
Yeah, it is.
Dante's
Peaks.
With advancements in CGI special effects, events depicting mass destruction became commonplace in films that soon followed, such as Dante's Peak and Volcano, both in '97, as well as Deep Impact and Armageddon, both in '98.
Yeah, we'll be covering Armageddon. Yeah, that's... yeah, man, that's when that's like, oh, this studio is making a meteor movie. Let's make a meteor movie. Ooh, that's making a volcano movie.
It's not even. It's like they literally just saw the announcement of it, and they're like, "We got to put this in production. Let's go."
Yeah.
You have a meteor script, right? Grab it.
It always was the detriment to both movies when they were racing into production to be first, and nobody won.
Nobody ever won.
Well, I mean, Armageddon, I suppose,
Armageddon
won.
It was entertaining.
It was better. I don't know. I got a soft spot for Deep Impact.
It's fine. It's fine. In June 2011, Devlin confirmed that he and Emmerich had written a treatment for 2 sequels to form a trilogy. Both expressed a desire for Will Smith to return. In October 2011, however, discussions over Smith returning were halted due to Fox's refusal to provide the $50 million salary demanded by Smith for the 2 sequels.
You know, honestly, that doesn't sound like a lot. You know,
$25 million a movie?
Exactly. For Will Smith, who's like at the time one of the biggest movie stars.
Yeah. I mean, it's Fox.
I don't find that to be
notoriously cheap.
Yeah, an outlandish demand. But also, it's like they're smart because, look, Independence Day was fine. We didn't need a sequel.
No,
we didn't.
No,
it completely told everything that needed to be done. We beat the aliens.
I know. I agree. Emmerich, however, made assurances that the films would be shot back to back, regardless of Smith's involvement. After many name changes and fits and starts, the film was finally released as Independence Day Resurgence on June 24th, 2016. The sequel, unlike the original, was both a critical and commercial failure, making further sequels unlikely.
I don't remember anything, except there was like a moon base or something. Always, not always, almost always. You know, you have this beloved blockbuster that is a fluke. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Just like a lot of the movies that we capture on paper, this movie should suck.
Yes,
you know?
It really should.
The script is awful. The characters are thin.
Yeah.
The physics are wrong. Everything about it is just ridiculous. But like all these other movies that we cover, it doesn't matter. It works. Somehow everything comes together and creates a big ball of fun. You got to put your brain away.
Yes.
Shove your face with popcorn and weed and enjoy the movie.
Huge part of that is casting.
Yeah.
They did a really good job with the casting.
Oh, yeah, because, I mean, there really was nobody more charismatic than Will Smith back in the day.
No.
You know, he's very watchable, likable. You know,
except for maybe Jeff Goldblum.
Well, Jeff Goldblum is so interesting.
Yeah.
Watching him eat a bag of chips is like, you know, he's just got a flair to everything that he does.
Right.
You know, he's a musician, and to me, he seems to approach his acting as music. It's jazz.
Yes.
You know, he's up and here, and you know, and his intonations are always.
Yeah.
You know, he's like Christopher Walken, where it's like the sentence structure and the syntax is so bizarre, but somehow it works.
Right.
Yeah, and Bill Pullman, everybody nailed what they were supposed to do.
Yes. Perfect casting for everybody.
Even Randy Crazy Quaid was perfect.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And his character was ridiculous. But it worked.
I didn't include this, but the original ending for this, and I think it's in some like special editions.
Yeah.
But they actually strapped a bomb because they wouldn't let Russell, the Randy Quaid character, fly because he was a drunk.
Yeah, which they shouldn't have, because he was still drunk.
Literally having to force feed himself coffee. keep it coming. Yeah. But like he wanted to. Props to him. He wanted to fight for his country. He wanted to do his thing. He was proven right, but they wouldn't let him fly, and so he gets his biplane and he straps a bomb to it, and he's flying around with the F-18s. And then it plays out the way it does in the movie. Like, nobody else has a... That's why he has the line, sorry I'm late, because it was supposed to be him in a biplane, like, coming up. And then he ends up flying in and doing the whole thing.
Tell my kids I love them.
Yeah, and they end up actually screening that, and people didn't mind it. They liked it.
Yeah.
But Dean Devlin realized that it was ridiculous.
Super ridiculous.
Time for the poop shoot.
That's what he says, and they cut that line.
Now it's your poop shoot.
It's in the special edition if you want to see it. But no, it's just a fun popcorn movie.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, much like all the movies we're covering this month, it is not available anywhere to stream.
So bizarre. The biggest movie, one of the biggest movies of the 90s, and you can't find it anywhere. And this was one of those movies, much like a lot of the movies that we're covering, that was a cultural event, man. It was something that everybody seemed to participate in.
It was huge.
Collectively enjoy.
Yeah.
We just wanted to watch everything get blown up. Americans love watching shit get blown up.
Yeah, and fighting the aliens and winning.
Yes.
Like, that's all that people want to see.
Very patriotic. And you know, there'd been a backlash from the rah-rah Reagan 80s.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a lot of patriotic films and...
Yeah.
You know.
Although, this was definitely more worldish, you know, I mean...
Sure.
Led by America.
Right, but it wasn't, you know, the president of France delivering the big speech about our Independence Day.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just, it roused everybody up. And it was the perfect time, July 4th weekend, you know, and it was just one of those anomalies where everything comes together to create the perfect storm for a giant hit.
Yeah, they actually did a screening. I think the original premiere was like July 1st or something at Mann's. Mm-hmm. And then the next day, or that night, they had a private screening for President Clinton. At the White House, and he loved it.
Oh, that's great.
It's a fun movie. Highly recommend picking it up on DVD. You can get onto eBay or Amazon and find a cheap used copy for like $5.
It's one to have in your collection just because of its just cultural significance and the fact that it was, you know, it's a great movie to watch with friends. Put on the back of a party, you know, in the background of a party.
Phoebe was telling me her parents, every Independence Day, everyone would sit around and watch Independence Day.
Yeah.
Like it was an annual thing.
It's great. My July 4th tradition is to watch the Jaws movies.
Yes.
Yeah, I used to watch all of them.
Sorry.
Well, I would get increasingly drunk, so by the time I got to Jaws Revenge, I'm like, woo, I'm into it. Come on, Mario Van Peebles and Michael Caine. I think that time is over, honestly. I don't think that,
I agree.
That we're going to have these big zeitgeist moments with movies anymore.
We're living in a postmodern world, man.
We're living in a very isolated world in some ways where, you know, the younger generations are watching movies as clips on their phone.
Yeah.
They don't have time or the
No, they're not going to sit and watch a 2.5-hour movie.
No. And if they do, it'll be on their laptop or their phone or something. Right. They don't care about they're not audio and video files like us old jerks.
No.
And I just think that, unfortunately, the golden age of... And it's sad to me. Yeah. Because I love those moments. You know, I think the Indiana Jones movie was kind of a good testament to the fact that that's over. Because that was a great ending to a great series and deserved to be seen in the theater. And I'm so glad I saw it in the theater.
Yeah.
But nobody gave a crap.
Yeah.
Furiosa, nobody gives a crap. You know, we'll see. You know, maybe Bad Boys 6 or whatever it is. Bad Boys
Ride or Die.
Bad Boys were collecting Social Security.
Cashing checks.
Yes, exactly. Bad Boys with a dollar sign.
Dollar sign. Dollar bill, y'all.
But I don't think so. I don't think
I agree. I'm hoping. I still have that little sliver of hope that there's going to be something that people will be like, all right, we got to go. But I have this very small hope.
Yeah, because like you said, it's all Marvel movies, and I don't have a problem with superhero movies. I love superhero movies.
We took a very joyous movie and made it very depressing.
Well, enjoy your lives, suckers. Everything sucks now.
But definitely find this movie, buy a copy of it, watch it. It's super fun.
Look,
you can get the special edition now, which has a ton of features and commentary on it for super cheap.
Super cheap. Independence Day's coming up. If you're having a party, throw it on in the background.
Yeah.
If you're a sad loner like me, maybe just throw it on by yourself.
If you're having a party and you throw it on, I guarantee you suddenly a dozen people would just be sitting and watching it.
It's just one of those movies that it doesn't matter. It's just fun, and there's nothing wrong with movies that are just dumb fun.
Yes.
You need that sometimes.
That is what we're covering this entire month.
June Doom. Dumb fun.
Dumb fun. We'll be back next week. I'm super excited. We're going to be doing Mars Attacks, which is not a parody movie of Independence Day.
No.
Although it is very similar.
It is a parody of 50s sci-fi.
It is brilliant. I have not had more fun writing a script for one of our shows than I have going back and looking at all the old Mars Attack stuff. I am so excited to cover this.
Yes, it's going to be a blast. But again, these are all fun, big, dumb movies. Yeah. I would say Mars Attacks is a little smarter because it is,
and unfortunately, because of that, it was the most criticized.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll cover it next week. Yeah. So all you Independence Day heads out there, today is our Independence Day. Oops.
And July 3rd, Armageddon is released in theaters.
Armageddon?
Oh, no, it's not Armageddon.
Are we doing Armageddon?
It's a sneak preview 2 years early.
Wow, this is like a sneak show.
July 3rd, Independence Day is released in theaters.
Thank you.
It's about 15 miles.
Oh, wait, he said this or she did?
He did. Was that your impression of her? God!
We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming. Matlock, already in progress.